sits upside down on the sidewalk. I pulled on sneakers, jeans, work shirt, and heavy windbreaker. At the beginning of May, the east end of the Long Island can still get a chill breeze off the ocean in the early morning. I scooped up my drawing kit and a giant pad. My house has 2 doors, one to a footpath through the dunes to the beach, the other facing the gravel automobile road that is scratched across what was once a potato field. I went out the beach door. I've mentioned the east end of Long Island and my house, and I may have conjured up an image of some postmodern bleached wood architect's conceit in the Hamptons, costing in the neighborhood of $1 million. I was not in that neighborhood. In actual fact, my place was not much more than a shack that could have been cast ashore on a high tide and might go out again on the next. Nor was it located in one of the cutting-edge, frantic, celebrity-intensive Hamptons. Not nearly. When I was on the NYPD, I had been off the cops about a year at this time. Word circulated that Sid Shale had this beach house out on the South Fork, on a lieutenant's salary. Internal Affairs fell over itself, launching an investigation. 2 IA guys actually schlepped out here on the Long Island Expressway on a Friday afternoon in July, a journey I support as a harsh alternative to capital punishment. When the guys reached my place, hot, sweaty, irritable, ready, I suspect, to file charges if they found so much as a deposit bottle I couldn't account for, they took one look and collapsed in each other's arms, dissolved in laughter. I happened to be in residence at the time. I was taking a vacation week to paint, and I witnessed the scene through a window, including Cop A's gasped, "That's a house?" Since then, the beach house had become my principal residence. In fact, my only residence. And I had done some work on the place. I insulated and heated it for year-round use. I cut a window on the beach side in the shape of either a swordfish or a blowfish, take your pick. I raised my bed on a platform so I could store paints and stretched canvases underneath. I painted the outside walls in 3 not nearly complementary colors, and constructed a huge found-object sculpture outside each exterior door and named them Flotsam and Jetsam. Most important, I lifted one wall 8 feet, because I wanted the added painting surface. That made for a shed roof, and I installed a skylight in it. Despite what I had spent on winterizing, the structural changes made the place nearly unheatable in months with an R in them. I consoled myself during those months by eating oysters whenever I could afford them. I took further comfort in the thought that my abode was probably as warm as Buckingham Palace. If the Queen could take it, so could I. And with the added height, I could work big. Really big. The dirty sand was strewn with assorted junk and the remains of marine life, most prominently the nearly black lengths of stringy seaweed I think of as the discarded hair of mermaids who come ashore in the night for a cut, bleach, and set. A few more weeks would pass before the village would begin raking the beach to tempt sunbathers. I would more than likely make a find this morning for either Flotsam or Jetsam. These were, and always would be, works in progress. I decided to head west. I had drawn the houses in that direction many times. The nearest was nearly a quarter of a mile distant. But the unfamiliar early light made them seem almost a new challenge. The low sun barely warmed the left side of my face as I picked my way over the mini gorges and temporary rivulets created by winter storms. I walked a few hundred yards without seeing a soul. But then, as soon as I found a likely spot to settle down for a first sketch, an overview of sand, sky, and houses, a gaunt figure rose over the dunes some distance ahead, Don Quixote with lance. He came from the road, made for the high water mark, and then ambled along it in my direction. When he got close, I saw that his pantaloons were actually baggy jeans tucked into high rubber boots, and the lance was a fishing rod. He wore a floppy hat and a torn t-shirt, and a creel was slung over a shoulder. He was a